Welcome back to Red Hawk Media. Today we are going to begin our web design unit. And what we're looking at here is we're going to start off with some of the basics. Learning code is not as daunting as you may think. It doesn't have to be necessarily trial and error. A lot of it is just going in and learning some of the different tags. And that's what we're going to start with today, is learning some of the tags. To do this, we're going to use TextEdit. And that's where we're going to begin. If you're not seeing TextEdit on your dock, of course, you can go up to Spotlight Search, type in TextEdit, and bring it up that way. So, to begin with, to make this program work for us, we have to have some settings in place. TextEdit will do a lot of basic word processing things that we don't want to have happen. Now, this is the most important thing to set up in TextEdit so that your frustration factor stays low. Otherwise, you're going to have loads of problems, and it's just going to be one thing after another, and you're going to want to give up coding in a hurry if you don't do these simple things. So before we open a new project here, or begin in TextEdit, we're going to go up to the TextEdit preferences, and we're going to set all this stuff up. So we bring this up, and let's go to the New Document tab. That's where we'll begin. Now, in the new document, you're going to have a lot of things kind of like all set up here, and it's going to be really annoying, and we're going to have to get these things off. First thing, the format menu to choose, we want to have a plain text document. Okay? At the bottom, this is where we do most of the heavy lifting here to make sure that our coding works out the right way. Otherwise, your word processor features built into TextEdit will wreck a lot of your typing here. So we want to get rid of the check spelling as you type, and the check grammar, and why not the rest of it? So we're just going to click off anything that happens to be highlighted here. We don't want any of these options active. Okay? Next thing, we're going to go to the Open and Save tab. All right? And the main thing that we're going to get rid of here is we're going to get rid of the add the TXT extension. We don't want that on there. Otherwise, it's going to be a text file, and we won't be able to open it as a web page. So we uncheck that. Last but not least, at the bottom here for HTML, which is the coding that we're learning here, we're going to get rid of the styling by changing embedded CSS to no CSS. And you'll see where that comes into play in a little bit here. Now, with all those options all set, we can go ahead and close this, and we are ready to begin. Let's go ahead and open a new document. Let's try creating a new document. Let me try that again. Whew, it's early. All right, with this new document here, main thing that we really want to get in place here is we want the basic tags that you need just to create a web page. Now, a bit of emphasis. This web page is going to be located on your computer. So it will be locally hosted, which means that nobody else will be able to get to this web page. Even if you told them what what the file name was and all that, they wouldn't be able to get to it, which is the beauty of this, because you can build your entire website here, do all of your pages without anyone seeing anything, seeing any of your errors, any of your formatting mistakes, anything like that. So it's a great way to practice and test everything out. So let's get started. The first one that you need for the most basic opening tag is just HTML. And we've got these little brackets here, which you'll see are the comma and the period. And there's always going to be an open bracket and a close bracket. Okay, so this is the closing tag for the HTML tag. Now, you're always going to have an opening tag and a closing tag. Now, some of the tags don't require it, but it's just good habit to practice those. All right, let's go ahead and add in a few more here. We're going to create some extra spaces, doesn't matter how many. And the next thing that we're going to put in here is the most crucial one, where most of your actual content will go for your web page. Okay, and that is the body. Okay. And now we're going to have our closing tag, which is those open brackets, and then a forward slash, and then, backward slash, and then body again. Close that up. Now, we're looking good here. Things are starting to come along. Okay, there is nothing in this website right now to identify it as a website. So let's go ahead and put in something really simple here. We're going to put in a head. This is where you can put a lot of your formatting for your website. So we go ahead and add that in there. And the first basic thing that we can add in that will actually show up on the website is a title. What do you want to call this website is the question here. So let's go ahead between these tags, call it, for our purposes, Red Hawk Media. There we go. Now this will actually show up on the page, and we want to test this out. So let's talk about saving really quick to make sure that this is properly ready for us to view on a browser, your browser of choice. So let's go up to File, and let's go to Save. And this first time saving is the most important one, so we got to make sure we do this right. Up where it says Untitled Text, we're going to go ahead and put, you can put anything for the name, but the most common name for a home page is index. And we're going to go .html. Okay, now that is telling this file that it's going to be an HTML file, which will give it a different thumbnail. It'll be able to open by the browsers, all of that stuff. So you have to type in the .html here. Now, we go ahead and click Save. We're just putting it on our desktop for now, and let's click Save. Boom. All right, now let's test this out. You can use any browser of your choice. I'll show you in Safari really quick. Okay, and let's go to File, Open File. Okay, and from our desktop, we're going to choose Index, and we're going to open that up. Now, you're going to see next to nothing here, but remember, we did put that title up in the header. So here is a very blank, a very boring page, and it now has Red Hawk Media for the title of the site. Okay, if you wanted to see this played out in Chrome, same exact thing, open up Chrome, go to File, go to Open File, and we do the same exact thing. Okay, now let's go ahead and add on to this so that it's a little bit more interesting. So let's come back and put something in there that we can actually see in the content area. In other words, in the body of the website. Let's come in here and we're going to add in a paragraph. Okay, starting off with the paragraph, we're going to put some content in there. Welcome to Red Hawk Media's homepage. There we go. And let's put a little exclamation. This is exciting. Okay, and P, and we close our tag. So we have an opening paragraph tag, and we have a closing paragraph tag. All right, now what we're going to want to do here is every time we make a change here in our text file, we have to make sure that we Command S or save it. Now that it's saved here, we can go back to the browser, and you'll notice we don't see any changes here. That's because we have to refresh it. So I click refresh, and boom, welcome to the Red Hawk Media's homepage. So I've got some content on there. Now, next thing, let's go ahead and add a little bit more content. Let's start off with a pretty easy one here. We'll just minimize this again, come back here. Let's add on one more. And then I'm going to have you explore a few others with some good resources that I've got for you here. All right, first one, let's add in a picture. IMG for image, and source, SRC, equals, quotations. Okay, and now let's go ahead and browse for a picture that we can use. Let's come back here. We're going to do a quick search up here. Red Hawk Media. And you'll see it brings up our site. Most importantly, we want to get to the images though. Let's go with this one here. And I'm going to go to View Image. And from here, I'm going to grab or copy this URL. So let's Command C that. And now let's go back to our TextEdit. And we're going to paste that in here. So I'm going to go Command V. Now that is after the quotations, no extra spaces. And now I'm going to close those quotations, and I'm going to close the image source tag. Now what that's telling us is that the source of this picture is on this URL. And it's going to show up full size with no changes to it whatsoever. Okay, let's go ahead and remember that we just made a change here. So we're going to hit Command S to save the index file. And now we go back to our browser of choice. And we go over to our Red Hawk Media tab, and you'll notice nothing is showing up here yet. We have to hit refresh. And boom. Now our picture shows up the way that we want it. Okay, now I'm going to extend something to you for a little bit of a challenge, see if you can figure this out. see if you can add a link in, any link of your choice, but see if you can add a link in to a website and actually get the link working. The resource that I'd like you to use here, that's actually very, very useful for everything. This is where I picked up most of my stuff. This is where I go if I have any problems. It's called w3schools.com. Now, the beauty of this website is you can learn pretty much any coding language that you want that is for building. Okay, so you can start off right at the very beginning here and click Learn HTML, and this will take you into most of what I've just shown you here. You'll see your HTML tags, your header tags, your title, everything that we just worked on right here. Now, we didn't do a header. That could be something that you add in on your page. But what I'd like you to figure out in your time here, before we begin the next episode of this, is to figure out how to do a link. Now, over on the left-hand side, they've got all the different HTML assets that you can learn, all the different coding things. Let's go to HTML links, and that'll help you out. All right, thanks for joining us for another episode of Red Hawk Media. Join us again for more episodes about website building, and in particular, learning the basics of HTML. Thanks. Bye.